So we continue with this Amazon news day with a second story, a story that I had actually kind of forgotten about, but actually had a very positive outlook in the sense that we're finally pushing back a little on Amazon, saying that they can't do whatever the heck they want to do. Well, first of all, hey everyone, this is Kevin, your Apptrepreneur. Welcome to my channel. If you like these videos, please consider subscribing below and ring that bell notification. We upload videos on a near daily basis, especially during this time of crisis, so we all have things we need to watch, and I don't know if this is going to necessarily be the most uplifting content in the world you're going to see, but it might talk about something that you won't hear on CNN and Fox. So anyway, Amazon a few months ago, there was a Jedi contract up from the Pentagon. The Pentagon wants a big cloud service for the government. Now, I will state up front, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I don't even really like the idea of the Pentagon offering this contract to a private company. I think the government should be able to do it themselves. They should have their own infrastructure. I don't like the idea of like a company that sells advertising or other tech products to have access to the government's files. But the government can't do it, thus that's why they're doing it. Well, for a long time, Amazon was considered the front runner to get this contract, and this contract is worth $10 billion. $10 billion. That's the kind of contract that could make or break a company. Now, Amazon was already made. It would just strengthen their grip on the world. Well, the Pentagon did not go with them. Whoever was awarding the Jedi contract went with Microsoft instead. Another admittingly big company, and again, it kind of highlights my concern for these types of contracts winding up in private companies' hands, especially ones that seem just want to take over the world, like Pinky and the Brain. However, Amazon made like a huge hissy fit. They had a temper tantrum. They sued. They said Trump interfered with everything. And you know what? I call at times like, no, they didn't. They didn't. Even if Trump did say not to work with them, that's not illegal. Trump doesn't want to do business with them. He doesn't have to do business with them. The government doesn't have to do business with anyone. They don't. They just have to say, hey, you know, for whatever reason, we're going with this person. And you know what? I bet you the main reason they did it, Microsoft probably had the better bid. They probably came in a little lower, which I know is kind of strange to think about because Amazon typically comes in the lowest, but Microsoft might have actually figured out what Amazon was going to do. They bid lower, and the government went with it because the government likes to save as much money as possible. And hey, Microsoft's not like a no-name company. They're a reputable company, especially in cloud. The OneDrive, I use the OneDrive a lot, to be perfectly honest. But Amazon had a little hissy fit, and they sued, and they complained because they wanted that $10 billion. Well, we're Amazon. Why didn't we get our $10 billion contract? That's what they did. It didn't work. It didn't work because it has officially been deemed that the $10 billion cloud contract owned to Microsoft was completely legal. So let's look at this. A government watchdog agency said Wednesday the Pentagon's process for awarding a highly lucrative cloud computing contract to Microsoft was in line with legal and government purchasing standards. The contract, potentially worth $10 billion, was awarded to Microsoft last October, prompting tech rival Amazon to cry foul. Amazon Web Services, a market leader in providing cloud computing services, had long been considered a leading candidate to run the Pentagon's Joint Enterprise Defense Infrastructure Project, known as JEDI. The project will store and process vast amounts of classified data, allowing the U.S. military to improve communications with soldiers on the battlefield and use artificial intelligence to speed up its war planning and fighting capabilities. Yeah, that's definitely what I want Amazon to have their hands on. Amazon sued the Pentagon after Microsoft won the contract. Work on the project has been halted as the lawsuit proceeds. But here's the thing. The judge presiding over the bid, protesting the U.S. Court of Federal Claims, said in March that Amazon's challenge likely had merit on some technical grounds involving pricing. The review released Wednesday by the Defense Department's Inspector General did not draw a conclusion about whether Microsoft was appropriately declared the winner. Rather, it looked at whether the decision-making process was proper and legal. It also examined allegations of unethical behavior by Pentagon officials involving the matter and generally determined that any ethical lapses did not influence the outcome. So, we're What does this mean exactly? Well, as Robert Carver said, Lieutenant Colonel Robert Carver said, this report should finally close the door on the media and corporate-driven attacks on the career procurement officials who have been working tirelessly to get the much-needed Jedi cloud computing environment into the hands of our frontline warfighters while continuing to protect American taxpayers. Basically, Amazon's not getting the contract. Amazon tried, they threw a tantrum, they wanted their bottle, and basically the Pentagon said, no, you don't get your bottle. You're being a whiny, spoiled brat, cry yourself to sleep. We know you're going to grow up at some point. At least we can hope they can grow up at some point. I don't completely trust them. I think Amazon's gotten so big, they're so used to not being told no that they threw a hissy fit. And yet, Amazon is being told no more and more. Now, again, I touched upon this a little earlier, but they have been told to close warehouses. They lost their second headquarters in New York. New York basically, they really got on their case, like, why isn't it going to be unionized? Because this is a union state. And, well, Amazon decided not to enter the second headquarters. And then they had the nerve to blast, like Bill de Blasio, who bent over backwards to try to get that deal done. They threw him under the bus, and he was like, screw you guys. So Amazon is being told no more and more and more. Not that it's mattering too much. Jeff Bezos, still becoming the richest man in the world, still terrifying, still scary. However, I'm hoping this is the start. I am wondering, I'm cautiously optimistic, not convinced because Amazon has gotten away with a lot worse before, but I am cautiously optimistic that we are starting to see the beginning of the end of Amazon's dominance. I think this virus situation and some of these recent actions, especially this one, has made people really start to look at Amazon in a new light. They're realizing Amazon is not anyone's friend. They're a business, and they're a business that wants to control everything. And it's becoming very obvious that they will do what they have to be the number one, stay the number one. And despite Jeff Bezos occasionally paying lip service like, no, we think competition is good, we like it, deep down he's like, no, they're not. I think we need to be the number one. I know what's best for people. It's a scary time. Like, Amazon has truly become Skynet. They truly have become Skynet. But hey, again, positives. Amazon didn't get away with it. They did not get away with this shenanigan. It was looked into, which probably was the right thing to do. And hey, it's been looked into, and all the watchdogs and the Pentagon and the DOJ, they all said there was nothing illegal about this. Absolutely nothing. You can pull the Trump card all you want. He didn't have anything to do with it. Heck, even if he did, I don't think anything illegal was done about that. Amazon is just upset because they felt they deserved a $10 billion cloud contract, which they were not entitled to, but they felt that they were, and they felt that if they cried enough about it, they would get it. Well, no, it didn't work, and I'm glad it didn't work, and that's where we're going to end this one. I just with a smug smile on my face, like, thank you, Amazon, for doing this. You showed that well, I don't know, you definitely showed your true colors in a very public way, and that's going to make people very, very suspicious of you. But anyway, going forward, what do any of you think about this? Do you think Amazon was right to sue them? Do you think they were snubbed? Or do you think, no, Microsoft probably deserved it? Or do you even really know what the Jedi contract is? If not, do a Bing or Google search on it. It's very fascinating. Otherwise, comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.